everyone, it's FCA and Hubert, and it's Thanksgiving. It's almost here. Now, Thanksgiving is a wonderful holiday. One, because it's a holiday about intangible things. Of course, there's the big meal and the food and some sort of bird, namely a turkey. But, there's no real arguments about Thanksgiving. There's no when was this person born. There's no really religious figure involved. You can be an atheist. You can be of any religion. All you really need to be is American, because America was the first country to make Thanksgiving, or to make a national holiday for specifically giving thanks and commemorating an origin of, the Pilgrims landing on Plymouth Rock and all of that stuff. Now, I'm sure that there's people who could argue that they were only sailing for religious freedom to escape the church, and so it has a religious meaning, blah, blah, blah. But when it was declared a national holiday, it was to commemorate being with each other, because all of the people who traveled on the Mayflower to America didn't make it. So everyone was thankful for their experiences and for surviving, and for meeting the Indians who were able to help them through the harsh winters and stuff like that. So it's about being thankful for being together and being able to have a big meal. So even if you had to get your meal donated to you or whatever, it's all about being thankful and giving thanks, and so that makes a wonderful holiday. Now, the only problem with Thanksgiving, other than, Aunt Martha and Tanya, arguing about who gets to make the turkey, or who gets to make the stuffing, whatever. The only other thing really on parents' minds is how to keep the children entertained. You want the children to be out of the way because you don't want them to spill hot gravy all over themselves or some other such thing. You don't want them, getting into the butter. But at Thanksgiving, there aren't any Christmas cards to be made. Depending on where you live, there may or may not be snow and leaves for them to jump into and run around with. So, if going outside isn't an option, how do you entertain the children while maintaining that your turkey doesn't burn or get too dry? The answer is give them something to do. So here are some ideas to entertain children for Thanksgiving. Just checking the time. One is to make this. Now, this is, of course, not anywhere close to a work of, Leonardo da Vinci or anything like that. But what it is something fun for kids to do. Get off of their glue everywhere. So all you need are some different colors of construction paper, mainly brown and orange, and then you can have red, yellow, whatever colors you might have, and have the kids cut out their hands. So just have them put their paper, trace their fingers, cut out a couple triangles and some odd oval shapes, glue them on for feathers, and they have a little turkey bird, and they can make pilgrims and Indians and whatever they want. So just give them something crafty to do. You can use, the paper safe scissors so that they cut paper and only paper. There will be no slicing of hands or cutting of hair or anything like that. Along those same lines, you can give them coloring pages. Now, I recommend pages like this that have a lot to color on. I also recommend having a backside for them to color on. Why is that? Because if you have children, then you know darn well that if they put a mark that they didn't intend to put on there, the whole paper is useless. So flip it over and be like, ta-da! A whole clean start. How wonderful. And this gives them lots to color. They get to decide what color the fruit should be, the Indian's feathers, the guy's stockings. And of course they can, they don't have to, make him wear black and him have brown moccasins. They can do whatever colors they please to begin with. But you want to have different shapes to give the children lots of options for the colors. Because if you just give them one thing to color, then, if you just gave them a giant pumpkin or something, they're likely going to color the whole thing one color and be back in the kitchen or back in the dining room causing mess. So you want to give them a lot to deal with. Another great coloring page is cornucopia. Again, it's really big, gives them lots of stuff to color, and you can print these off for free. Of course, you have to pay for ink, but you just go to Google or whatever your search bar is, hitting cornucopia coloring page or Indian coloring page, Thanksgiving coloring page, click on one of the images, save it to the computer, and print it off, and then you have a coloring page for the children. And of course, if you just have regular coloring books, but to be a little bit festive for Thanksgiving, Another thing you can do is give them a movie to watch. Now, there aren't a lot of Thanksgiving movies. Hallmark has a couple of them, but they're on at like 3 and 4 in the morning. Go figure. And of course, there's the Macy's Day Parade that you can put on for them, and they can see the giant floats and everything. However, you could also do a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, which is cute. This one actually has the Mayflower Voyager, which puts the Peanuts characters into a situation, and I'm not being paid to promote that or anything like that, just so you know. But this is a really fun Thanksgiving. It's funny with Snoopy shenanigans. It shows the true meaning of Thanksgiving, and of course, it shows Charlie Brown ending up in a conundrum that he really didn't intend to get into. And so it's something that'll keep the kids out of the way. And it's not too long. So if you have another half an hour before dinner and the children are just getting kind of antsy and the relatives are coming in or whoever, this is a nice way just to keep them out of the way for a few minutes. So with your turkey and your coloring pages and a fun little Thanksgiving DVD, those are some ways to keep the kids entertained while you cook dinner and keep them safe. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody!